Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Films are made up of sequences. Sequences are made up of scenes. And scenes are made up of shots. In previous episodes, we discussed composition, animation, and production sound. In this episode, we will delve deeper into the sound recording process.
Can I have some quiet on the set? Roll sound.
This is episode 17 of The Shot List. Production Sound, Part 2. Before sound speeds, don't forget to subscribe to Studio Binder and enable notifications to stay up to date on all our videos. Now, quiet on set.
Well, hello, Colin.
Last time we looked at the physics of sound, which is defined as a disturbance that creates an acoustic wave through an elastic medium, like a liquid, gas, or solid. We also looked at various terms that recur in the sound department, along with a plethora of equipment that is needed. And finally, we went through the various production sound positions that are available on set. Today, we'll look closer at what the sound crew does on set and how they adapt to different environments. Let's begin with the general rules for recording sound on set. The sound department's work on set starts long before the recorder starts rolling. Though a sound mixer was likely present during the tech scout for locations, they will begin to look for potential noise issues that could arise on set. If they spot anything, they will communicate them to the locations department. The team will also watch rehearsals in order to get a better sense of how to mic the scene.
Oh, to you. Cheers.
It's far more than my wages amount to.
Cheers.
Ideally, they will be able to position the shotgun so that it's no more than 3 feet away from a subject. They can also add plant mics, microphones that are hidden on set to capture the sounds that the shotgun may miss.
Here's the mic, right here in the bush.
Yeah.
Now you talk towards it.
Once more, it is the mixer's job to vocalize if they see a potential sound issue during the run-through. In the long run, vocalizing problems early will help expedite the shooting process, an important quality for a good sound department. Mixer Chris Howland explains.
The last thing you can do is slow the train down. And so you're always listening to, gauging the tone of the room, trying to read between the lines, because if things change, you need to be able to change with them. And, you can't rely on somebody to just tell you this is what's going to happen.
When actors are done with hair and makeup, the mixer will then wire them, placing the lav in their costumes. It's important for a mixer to be sensitive during the process, clearly communicating where they will locate the lav. It's also critical that the lav's placement will have minimal clothing noise. Production sound mixer Tom Williams explains his approach.
You're trying to get it right to the edge of a costume when you've got a millimetre or so to play with. You really need to push it out as much as possible to get as much air on the mic, and it still has to obviously be hidden.
Once the actors are mic'd and the boom operator is in place, the sound department is ready to record. The second assistant camera will slate in front of the camera after the sound mixer confirms they are speeding.
Speed.
70 Apple, take 3, park.
Ensuring that the post team will be able to sync footage and audio easily. The boom op will usually move the shotgun close to the slate to get the clap, and then move it back into position. When they are ready, they will often announce boom set.
Set.
And action!
While recording the scene, the mixer will watch the levels. They will usually want to keep audio peaks between -6 and -12 dB. hitting 0 dB could cause distortion. To ensure distortion doesn't occur, some sound mixers will use limiters. This will prevent peaks, but may eliminate dynamism from dialogue, so it's typically used sparingly. The sound department will also want to capture room tone, audio of the set without any other noise. This recording can be used by the post-production sound team in the sound bed of a scene, so there's never total silence, and so cuts between dialogue aren't as jarring.
You remind me of the daughter they took away from me.
A sound mixer will often remind the assistant director at the beginning of the day that they'll need time for room tone.
Hold it, hold it!
What?
I still have to record room tone.
Okay, all right, everybody.
When recording, the boom operator will make sure the microphone is pointed in the same direction it was during the scene to ensure a maximum level of continuity.
Mic's in position.
Scene 6, room tone, rolling.
Typically, a room tone recording should be about 2 minutes. A sound department may also record wild takes after a scene is finished. These are certain sounds from a scene that may be hard to recreate in post, but which are also difficult to capture during the scene. This could be the sound of a prop, or even a short line of dialogue. Of course, sound recording differs based on the location. Let's look at best practices for recording interior sound. Usually, recording indoors means a recordist has more command over the sound around them. Interior spaces typically have controllable noise, which refers to any noise that can be mitigated by the sound or locations department. This could be the hum of a refrigerator or an HVAC system in a larger building. The crew can often coordinate with the owners of the space to turn off or turn down these noises. The size of the set will play a role in what microphone a mixer may choose. As a general rule, shotguns with fewer ports, the ridges on the side of the microphone, are better for small spaces. For larger spaces, more ports are ideal. This is because ports are used to capture sound coming from the side of a shotgun and cancel it out using phasing, where a sound wave cancels out a specific frequency. Too many ports in too small a space may create an unwanted phase effect, since the subject's noise may hit the ports as well due to reverb. Reverb is an important consideration for indoor settings. Short for reverberation, the term refers to the persistence of sound after it is created. Reverb is often most prevalent when a subject is surrounded by hard surfaces, which will bounce sound waves rather than absorb them. A sound mixer typically will want to reduce reverb on set as much as possible. Even if a scene may need reverb in the end,
Where is Harvey Dent?
that is usually added by sound designers in post, so that they may have more control over how it is employed.
Where is Harvey Dent?
To avoid reverb, a sound mixer will try and cover as much of the set as possible in soft materials that will absorb sound. They may coordinate with the art department to build carpets or curtains into a set. But if that's not possible, they will employ fernies. Short for furniture pads, these are blankets made for dampening reverb. Sometimes, however, reverb and echo can be utilized deliberately. Mixer Amanda Beggs explains her approach for a warehouse concert scene in Mike Mills' 20th Century Women.
When we tech scouted it, it was an echo chamber, and I pointed out that it was going to sound like an echo chamber. Even with bodies, the band was going to have a certain sound, but Mike was all about that. Mike did not want it to sound like we were recording this band in a studio. He wanted it to be the space.
Another tricky but common interior space is the car. When recording in a vehicle, sound mixers have numerous unwanted noises to contend with, and a limited space in which to hide mics. A rule of thumb most mixers employ in cars is to have the microphone pointed away from the engine so that they can avoid that noise as much as possible. Often, mixers will hide laughs in a car's visors. Sound mixer Stéphane Boucher explains furthering this technique for Lucy.
The idea was the sun visor, and I was thinking, what about buying new sun visor, exactly the same one, and then I'm gonna destroy it, open it, put a mic inside, close it again, and put it in the car.
No, this is not possible, lady. This is a police car. Okay.
Recording for interior locations requires ingenuity, and so does recording exterior sound. Often recording outside means having far less command over the sounds making their way onto the set. These sounds are called uncontrollable noises and can include anything from a plane flying overhead to a gust of wind. If an outdoor set is near a roadway, traffic sounds will also be a concern. Sometimes this is a controllable noise through ITC, or intermittent traffic control, where the locations department halts the traffic when a take is in progress. Wind is harder to halt. To avoid wind noise, a recordist will usually employ a blimp or a dead cat. A dead cat is a furry covering for a shotgun that cuts down wind from hitting the mic. A blimp is another covering that protects a microphone even more. But the more protection provided by a covering, the more the high frequencies risk getting reduced. So a mixer will typically only use the amount of protection that is absolutely necessary. Wind and other uncontrollable noises can also be mitigated through smart mic placement. On a particularly gusty day, a boom operator may record from below an actor, pointing the shotgun up at them and avoiding the worst of the wind. This is also true if a production is happening on a roof. If there is traffic noise from below, pointing the shotgun upwards will avoid it. A low-cut filter can also be employed to reduce the bass-heavy interference from wind or low hums from machinery.
Hi there. How you doing?
Recording outside can also require contending with the elements. In these instances, it's important to pay attention to how the equipment is faring. Sound mixer Mark Ulano explains the steps he took when working in the bitter cold for the Hateful Eight.
You have to have a lot of redundancy because things will fail, and you have to be very aware of the impact. If you work something in the cold, a piece of electronic gear, and then you bring it to a warm place, there's going to be condensation inside. So it's like a little rainstorm in your electronics that are designed to make it stop working at the worst possible moment. So you don't do that. You have a set of cold things, you have a set of warm things.
The elements can make their own noise too. When dealing with rain, a mixer may use hog's hair, fabric which can dampen the sound of droplets. There is only so much a sound team can do for especially difficult settings. The goal is to get usable sound, even if it's not perfect. Sound is one half of a movie, so don't skimp when it comes to capturing it on set. Listen to your sound mixer. Otherwise, you may pay for it in post-production, which we'll get into on our next episode, Post-Production Sound. Good sound starts with good planning. Get ahead of any audio surprises by using Studio Binder's pre-production software. And take a look at the Studio Binder Academy channel for filmmaker interviews and in-depth tutorials on creating shot lists, production documents, and more. Until next time, keep your ears open.
Sure. What's that noise?
The mic's picking up her heartbeat.
Swell. Ah!
Stop!